Let's get right into it. Number 10. The perfect couple facade. Those perfect couples on social media. Matching outfits, perfectly timed kisses, candle-lit dinners that look Instagram-ready. They're probably miserable. Studies show that couples who post the most about their relationship are often the ones struggling hardest to keep it together. It's like when you were a kid and your parents would suddenly act super nice to each other when guests came over, just with better lighting and more hashtags. You never see posts about partners leaving dirty dishes in the sink for the 5th time this week, or stories about arguing over whose turn it is to clean the bathroom. Instead, we get, "My soulmate surprised me with breakfast in bed," while conveniently leaving out that it was to make up for forgetting their anniversary. Psychologists found that couples who constantly post about their relationship are often seeking external validation. They're trying to convince themselves more than anyone else. This facade shows up in real life too. Some couples act completely different when others are around. They're all lovey-dovey at dinner parties but can barely look at each other when they think no one's watching, like method actors who can't break character in public. This behavior is actually making relationships worse. When couples focus more on appearing perfect than being genuine, they stop working on their actual issues. They're so busy staging the perfect, spontaneous picnic photo that they forget to have real conversations. It's like putting a fresh coat of paint on a house that's falling apart. The most stable couples barely post about their relationship at all. They're too busy actually enjoying each other's company to document every moment for strangers on the internet. Number 9. Faking understanding. You're in a meeting. Your boss explains something super complicated. Everyone nods along like they're watching a TED Talk that actually makes sense. Then your boss looks around and asks, "Everyone got it?" You nod and say, "Got it," like you just understood quantum physics. A huge number of people regularly fake understanding during important conversations. Your doctor explains something. You nod along. Your mechanic talks about car problems. You smile and say, "Yeah." In medical settings, this can lead to patients taking medications wrong, because nobody wants to say, "I have no idea what you're talking about." The more important the conversation, the more likely we are to fake understanding. Our brains think, "Don't look stupid," then we look even more stupid later. In workplaces, this leads to major mistakes. NASA lost a $125 million Mars orbiter. One team used metric, the other imperial. Nobody bothered to ask, "Wait, are we using meters or feet?" Even when people know they'll need the information later, they still fake understanding. We'd rather fail in private than look confused in public. We're all sitting in meetings, thinking we're the only fraud in the room. Meanwhile, the person next to you is probably thinking the exact same thing. Number 8. The Zoom zone out. People multitask during video calls. While your boss thinks you're deeply invested in their quarterly projections PowerPoint, you're online shopping, scrolling through Instagram, or playing Candy Crush. Your brain isn't actually multitasking. It's task switching, like a chef trying to cook 5 different meals at once. You're missing about 40% of what's being said in that meeting. We've all developed this universal language of fake engagement. There's the thoughtful nod, that slow up and down head movement that says, "I'm totally following you," when you're thinking about what to have for lunch. Then there's the strategic eyebrow raise, the perfect response when you hear someone's voice go up, but have no idea what they just said. And the lean in and squint move when someone asks you a question, and you need those precious few seconds to mentally rewind the conversation. Seeing yourself on screen makes everything worse. Scientists found that staring at your own face during video calls is like having someone follow you around with a mirror all day. It makes you super self-conscious and exhausted. That's why you catch yourself fixing your hair or adjusting your position every 2 minutes like you're in some weird digital beauty pageant. While you're pretending to be fascinated by Dave from accounting's spreadsheet presentation, everyone else is probably doing the exact same thing. They're just better at hiding their Amazon shopping tab. Number 7. Faking financial stability. That fancy coffee you bought this morning, even though your bank account was screaming "please no more"? We pretend we're more financially stable than we actually are. You're splitting the bill at dinner, and your heart's racing because that transaction might bounce. But you smile and say, "Yeah, just put it on my card," because you'd rather eat ramen for a week than admit you're broke. 64% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck right now. That includes people making 6 figures. Yet everyone's posting vacation pics on Instagram. Most of those tropical paradise shots were funded by credit cards with interest rates higher than your college GPA. Instead, we're all out here doing this weird financial peacocking, buying things we can't afford to impress people we don't even like. Studies show people would rather admit to having an STD than reveal their credit card debt to friends. That's how deep this shame runs. You're seeing people your age buying houses and fancy cars. What you're not seeing is the mountain of debt they're buried under. or that they're still getting help from their parents, or that they're one missed paycheck away from financial disaster. The people who actually are financially stable often don't look like it. They're driving older cars, living in modest homes, and probably not posting about it on social media. Meanwhile, we're all out here trying to look rich instead of actually building wealth. Number 6. Laughing at jokes you don't get. That laugh you do when your boss makes a terrible joke? That weird heh that sounds about as real as your aunt's story about dating Brad Pitt in high school? Most of us are just pretending to get the joke. Your brain can actually tell the difference. Genuine laughter makes your brain light up. Fake laughter makes it basically roll its eyes. It's a built-in lie detector for laughs. Fake laughter sounds different too. Real laughter is shorter, more spontaneous, with little hiccups in between. Fake laughter is smoother, like someone reading ha 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 from a script. Our caveman brains are still running the show. Back in the day, not laughing with the group could get you kicked out of the cave. Being alone meant becoming some hungry tiger's dinner. So we developed this automatic laugh along or die response. Even when people know you're faking it, they still like you better than if you didn't laugh at all. Chimps will actually force laughs to keep peace in their social groups. So next time you're doing that weird ha-ha at your boss's 10th dad joke of the day, just remember you're not being fake. You're participating in an ancient primate tradition of social bonding. Number 5. Faking confidence. We're all walking around pretending we know what we're doing. It's like being the new kid at school every single day of your adult life. You're in a meeting, someone asks if there are any questions, and everyone stays quiet. Nobody understood a thing. We're all just nodding along like those bobblehead dogs in car windows. Scientists found that about 70% of successful people feel like complete frauds. They're sitting in their fancy offices, wearing their fancy suits, feeling like a kid wearing their parents' clothes. It's called imposter syndrome, and it's basically your brain telling you you're faking everything. Even actual experts feel this way. There are surgeons out there, people who literally hold hearts in their hands thinking, I hope nobody realizes I have no idea what I'm doing. Meanwhile, that guy at the coffee shop who's been working there for 2 days is absolutely convinced he's the world's greatest barista. Scientists call this the Dunning-Kruger effect. The less you know about something, the more confident you are about it. It's why your uncle, who watched one YouTube video about vaccines, thinks he knows more than doctors who spent 12 years studying medicine. Everyone else in that room is probably feeling the exact same way. We're all just pretending to be adults. Number 4. The on my way text. You're wrapped up in bed like a burrito, nowhere near ready, and you text, on my way. Most people aren't even close to being on their way when they send it. Some send it while they're still in the shower, and the champions send it while hitting the snooze button for the 5th time. This isn't just about being lazy. We're more afraid of someone thinking we don't care about them than we are of lying. We're not just lying to others. We're lying to ourselves. When you text on my way, your brain starts believing you're making progress. It's like your brain gives you a little hit of dopamine for taking action, even though the only muscle you've moved is your thumb. And the craziest part is the person receiving your text knows you're lying. They've probably just sent the exact same lie to someone else. It's this weird social contract we've all agreed to. Everyone lies about being on their way, and everyone pretends to believe it. Just leaving now is basically code for, I just remembered we were supposed to meet. Next time you get an on my way text, multiply that estimated arrival time by 3. You're not the only one lying in bed typing almost there. Number 3. Curating the perfect life online. Your friend Sarah is doing yoga on a beach at sunset, green smoothie in hand, probably solving world hunger in her spare time. You're watching this in bed, surrounded by snack wrappers. Sarah's not showing you the 47 attempts it took to get that perfect yoga pose, or how she almost dropped her phone in the ocean trying to get the right angle. 68% of people admit to staging candid photos. You know the ones. Oh, I just happened to be laughing while looking away from the camera, holding a coffee cup at the perfect angle. People are literally renting fake private jets for Instagram photos. There are studios that look like the inside of a private jet, and people pay hundreds of dollars to pretend they're living the high life. This constant fakery is messing with our heads. We're all living in 2 realities. The messy, real one where we're eating cereal for dinner, and the filtered one where we're all successful CEOs who meditate at dawn. The more perfect someone's social media looks, the more likely they are to be struggling. It's like the shiny surface is compensating for something darker underneath. One influencer recently admitted she spent 3 hours crying on her bathroom floor right after posting about her best day ever. Nobody likes kale that much, Sarah. Number 2. Faking busyness at work. First, the classic multiple screen setup. You've got spreadsheets open on one screen, a half-written email on another, and maybe a complicated-looking graph that you found on Google. It's like setting up a Hollywood movie set for Competent Employee, Part 3. Then there's strategic keyboard typing. That aggressive typing you do when your boss walks by. You could be writing your grocery list or just typing, "I'm pretending to work," over and over. But as long as you're hitting those keys like you're trying to break them, everyone assumes you're solving world hunger. The real pros have mastered the strategic movement pattern. That's when you walk around the office with a paper in your hand, looking worried. Nobody stops a person who's walking fast with a concerned face and a document. Psychologists call it productivity theater. It's workplace cosplay. Instead of dressing up as Spider-Man, you're dressing up as a productive employee. And all this fake busyness is actually making us more stressed than real work, because now you're not just doing your job, you're also directing, producing, and starring in Looks Like I'm Working the musical. The most ironic part is writing this script about faking work is probably the most actual work some of you have done all day, and I know you're watching this at work right now, probably with a spreadsheet open in another tab. Number 1, the automatic, "I'm good." And you? Someone asks, "How are you?" And you automatically respond, "I'm good." And you? You could be having the worst day of your life. Your cat just threw up in your shoes, your car broke down, and you just found out your ex is dating your best friend. But when the cashier asks, "How are you?" what comes out? "I'm good." And you? Scientists call this a phatic expression, words we say just to be polite, not to actually communicate anything. This little lie we tell dozens of times each day is a tiny social contract we're all part of. You don't want to hear about Dave from accounting's divorce saga when you're buying toilet paper, and Dave doesn't really want to tell you either. This constant faking actually makes us feel worse. Scientists call it emotional labor, the work of pretending to feel one way when you're actually feeling another. It's like wearing a mask all day that eventually starts to feel pretty heavy. Everyone else is doing the exact same thing. You're pretending to be fine for people who are pretending to be fine for you. It's a giant game of emotional chicken where nobody wants to be the first to admit they're actually struggling. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.